Joining us now once again to talk about the border, maybe a little energy, a little Bitcoin, is independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Mr. Kennedy, good to chat with you again. We appreciate you coming on. You recently visited the southern border as well. I think much less of a scripted, sort of staged thing as we probably saw today. What's the reality at the border?
It's actually surreal, Brian. I've been down there twice. The first time I spent almost 3 days down there. And I watched between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning, 300 people just walk across the border, and the Border Patrol is relegated to processing them and then bringing them to the Yuma airport, putting them on planes to any destination they want in the United States. And if they can't pay for the flight, the Border Patrol pays for it and then gets reimbursement from FEMA. There's 8 million people that have crossed illegally, but it's all anointed by the federal policies right now. We've adopted this catch and release program rather than the catch and return program, and we've abandoned the Migrant Protection Act, which kept asylum seekers in Mexico while their asylum claims were being processed. It's infrastructure issues. There's a problem. There's problems with personnel, but the biggest problem is a policy problem that could be reversed by the Biden administration literally overnight.
Talk to us more about this, because you are a lifelong Democrat. You're running as an independent, and that's why it's so important to get your view on this. Okay, you also live in Southern California, so you see immigration, both legal and illegal, pretty much every day. And you probably heard my sort of off-the-cuff reference coming into this piece, Robert, which is that the border bill, while it may be critically important for funding border operations going forward, tell our audience right now that it has nothing to do with what has happened, correct? It is a political sort of red herring.
I mean, listen, I've watched in New York City. I heard the report, earlier on preceding my piece where I forget what the reporter was saying, but she was your financial reporter, saying that the immigration has actually helped inflation in this country, but that ignores the actual direct impacts of this huge influx of immigrants on our social service systems, on our social safety net, and on local economies. New York City is cutting police by 5%. They've cut the fire by 5%. They've cut sanitation and education by 5%. They have encampments for migrants on their playing field so that kids, who could not play their sports during COVID now can't play their sports because there's migrants on the playing field. It's insane to try to make the argument that this is a good thing for our country. There's no way that you can make an argument for it. It is all right. We have the Mexican drug cartels running America's immigration policy. Who can say that that's a good thing?
Well, that's why I think
there's not. And I talk to the immigrants. The immigrants aren't, the people who are coming over have been exploited, extorted, robbed, raped. They come over here, they're exploited by they can't work legally. They're exploited by unscrupulous employers who are paying $6 or $8 an hour, and those employers, contractors in New York City, are competing against union shops.